Guten Tag, bonjour, buenos dias, ciao, aloha, konnichiwa, and hello. And welcome to our presentation on our online language learning service, Transparent Language Online, or TLO. My name is Patricia and I work in the Adult Services Department. I am going to share the basics on accessing TLO and just what a range it offers for learning many languages. So get ready to start learning. Here are some reasons why you might want to go to our Databases tab on the LIA Library website and click on Transparent Language Online in the alphabetic list of our databases. You'll also see that there is a PDF document on the how-tos of TLO that you might want to use as backup information to this presentation. TLO offers unlimited access to more than 100 languages, and each has its own set of tools to help learn all aspects of the language of your interest. There are speaking, listening, reading, and writing skills for each, as well as some tool options specific to a particular language like KidSpeak and blogs in the language you picked. When you've clicked on TLO in the database list, it will ask you for your LIA Library username/barcode and your PIN/password. These are the same as you use to access any of our databases, our patron PCs in the library, or your account at the library. All LIA Library barcodes begin with 7301 and are 12 numbers long. The default password for all LIA Library patrons is the last 4 digits of the phone number you gave when you got your card at the library. You can access Transparent Language either through the library's website or your mobile device. We're going to start with the web version first, as you'll need information from the web version to be able to access the Transparent Language app. So once you've entered your library password and login, you'll be at the Transparent Language screen where you will see the box to log in, sign up, or get information about TLO. As a new user, you'll need to complete the sign up. This will mean creating and registering a separate username and password specifically for your TLO account. This is used to allow you to exit a lesson and pick up where you left off at whatever point you were in the lesson. You will need to keep track of this login and password as the library will not have access to it. The name box can have whatever name you want TLO to use when the system addresses you. There is a second way you can access TLO outside of the database link. You can access TLO through the library's catalog links. Once you're logged into the catalog, find the tab heading Search and look for databases in the list that it shows. Once again, you would scroll down to the Transparent Language Online listing and click on it. At this point, you would be following the same steps we covered when you access TLO from the main Databases tab on the LIA Library homepage, and you would click on Login to get into TLO. After you've successfully signed up for TLO, you can now select whatever language you would like to learn. Note that many languages also cover different dialects of that language. If you specifically want a particular language, you don't have to scroll through all the languages offered. You can go to the search bar and enter a language in it. The other way you can access Transparent Language Online is to get and use the TLO app. After you get the app from either Apple or Google Play, go to the header on the web version of the TLO page. Then click on the link called Go Mobile. This first-time process involves using a special yellow box that will come up when you click on Go Mobile. It will show your TLO username and a mobile password. This password is specifically for setting up your TLO app, so you'll only be using this one time. It will link your web-based TLO account to your new app-based version. At this point, you want to open the TLO app. You will be asked for your username and password. Put in your TLO username, and then put in the one-time password from the yellow box on your web window into the password box on the app, and then hit Enter. This will finalize the link between your website account and your app version account. From this point on, when you log in, you will use the password you came up with when you signed up for TLO. Now when you log in, you can click on Learned Items to sync the app if you have been using the web version or another device. This will sync the program across your devices. If you are using Transparent Language for the first time, you can go to the Choose a Language page and select the one that you would like to use either by clicking on it in the list or typing it into the search box. This is what the opening screen for whatever language you have chosen will look like. Here we have picked Learning Italian for English Speakers. As you can see, we are in the language's first tab, Learning, and there is nothing in the part called My Learning Path. To put some content in it, we will need to go to the Browse tab, but let's go over all the language's main tabs first. The Learning page has the following sections for each language: My Learning Path, Learned, and Practice. Each section offers a different part of learning a language. My Learning Path is where you put the language content that you want to learn. Learned will help you to track your progress in the language, and Practice will give you a wide variety of tools to practice the lesson. So let's take a look at what the practice tools look like. As you can see, for the language that was chosen, there are options to practice listening, reading, speaking, or writing in the language. The icons indicate which area a given tool covers. For instance, the bubble icon indicates an area of speaking the language, such as pronunciation. When you click on it, you can see that there are pronunciation practices associated with each unit of the practice. Note the circle with the 3 dots in it. It provides other options for you to use for each unit that you could go to. The first step in adding lessons to your learning path is to click on the box that says Add Something New, or go to the Browse tab. Now let's take a look at what selections you can find under TLO's Browse tab. As you can see, for this language you can select options to add to your learning page that include learning business or medical vocabulary, the basic elementary vocabulary, the alphabet, beginning conversations, and an interesting one called Teen Voices Spanish. This last category is for a type of learning that may only be available to some of the languages in the system. This is also true in the practice option, where you may or may not find an option for you to use a microphone to practice saying a word and then see on your screen how closely your pronunciation is to the way a native speaker of the language would pronounce it. Keep an eye out for it, and if this category or something else is missing from your language's practice sections, TLO is always updating the content to its service, and it may show up in the future. Here you can click directly on Add All to Path and include everything shown on the Browse screen. Or you can click on any of the sections arrows to see specific sections that can be added to your learning path. The tab for My Transcript is a nice way to track your progress in learning the language you chose. Note that you can specify the range of dates you want for tracking this, as well as which of the languages you are studying that you want the report for. Back at the main tabs for TLO, the one for Resources will also show whatever special tools have been produced for the particular language that you have selected. In addition to blogs in this language, there are Facebook pages, Twitter accounts, and other social media where TLO puts content for the language. The one we're going to take a look at, though, is the one that's called Word of the Day. Here we are on Word of the Day for those who are learning Spanish. If we click on the speaker icons for the word or for the sentence, we'll have a native speaker pronounce it. After it offers a translation of the word and what part of speech it is, it offers a sentence in Spanish where the word is used. This sentence is also translated. If you're interested in getting Word of the Day, you would enter your email address in this box and it will send this content to your email address. Another way to add learning content is to go to a new My Learning Path and use the search box to specify the type of learning you are interested in. In this example, we're entering conversation as the area of language learning we want to get to. If you click on the plus sign, you can add a section to your My Learning Path. Or you may want to explore the options you have for this information under the 3 dots. When you are learning conversation, there are some special areas you can use to help you get the best benefits out of the conversation. First of all, you can click on the speaker icon to see how a native speaker would say it. Or you can use one of our favorite features and click on the turtle icon to hear the word spoken more slowly. There is also an overlay feature that makes the screen background gray and gives other information on the screen that points to further functions on a given arrowed section of the screen. The overlay feature can also be turned off if you don't want to use them. Our last TLO function we wanted to share here is the one called KidSpeak that I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. It offers very beginner tools geared towards children who want to learn the language. But if you look at some of the areas that KidSpeak covers, you may also find it useful to click on tools like play with alphabet or numbers or animals. Many times this level of learning is left out of courses for adults, and yet they can be a key part of the basics that you are trying to learn. Unfortunately, at this time, not all languages have a KidSpeak option, so give it a try if your language has it. We really appreciate your taking the time to explore transparent language online with us and hope you'll give it a try out. If you have more questions on it or need some individual support, you can reach us on our connection desk at connect@lialibrary.org. And while we're talking about language learning, please note that TLO does offer English for native speakers of other languages, and that Lyle Library also has a well-established service for ESL and literacy assistance. The contact for this is one of my adult services teammates, Jean Demas. Her contact information is given here as well. Thank you for your time and interest in transparent language online.